And it's important to find out what are the causes of this reading problem. We should not look at all the children from the same angle, that they're all studying in the same classroom, same teacher, how come they're not reading? Because every child's brain is unique and every child has a different kind of way the child learns, could have some other challenge in the brain too. So there are various causes of reading difficulties. So let me list down these causes and tell you, and you can find out after spending a little more time with the child as to which cause does your child or your student fall under, and based on that you can help the child to improve reading. So the first one is dyslexia. It is a learning disorder that affects reading skills. Children with dyslexia find it challenging to decode words, recognize sight words, and comprehend texts. Second is language development. Students with limited language development, either due to lack of exposure or a learning disability, often face reading difficulties. 3 is attention deficit hyperactive disorder. So children with ADHD can have hard time concentrating and staying focused while reading, making it challenging to comprehend and remember what they have read. 4th can be vision or hearing impairment. Students with visual and hearing impairment may struggle to read because they cannot see or hear correctly. I had a child in my school who was admitted in my center who was admitted in age 9. I was surprised to know the parent did not know the child could not hear till age 7. The doctors kept telling, no, it's okay, it's fine. And only at the age of 7, the child was introduced with a hearing aid. Now imagine by 7 years, the child is already exposed to thousands and thousands of words in any language. And this child was not exposed to any language. So how do you expect the child to start reading suddenly? So schools did a lot of work and they gave up. Finally, when the school said we can't continue, was the time the child was brought to my center. After the hearing aid came, the child found it even more difficult because suddenly there were lots of sounds which created headache to this child's brain. And then the child had to switch it on and off to make sure the child could manage to manage the headache. So initially the child only used to make sounds, though she was 9-year-old. Imagine if she's only making sounds, the world is going to laugh at her. Well, with all our techniques and strategies, we helped this girl. She finished her 12th. Now she reads well, writes well, speaks well. In fact, she's finished her graduation. She's a very confident girl. She's an artist, and I think she started her own painting because she was very good at art all the time. So imagine how much the time child has lost the time. So it's so important to identify all this at a very early age. So the 5th point is lack of practice. So students who do not practice reading regularly may experience reading difficulty because they lack fluency and comprehension skills. In our schools, we spend so much time on writing, even at home. One paragraph writing is such a task that hours and hours are gone in that because kids don't like writing. My suggestion to every teacher and every parent listening to this is please focus more on reading, because reading will help you to make you or make your child a better writer. 6th point is emotional factors. Now, factors like stress, anxiety, and depression can affect reading abilities, making it difficult to concentrate and comprehend the text. So it's so important to know what is the mental condition of the child. Has something gone wrong at home? Is the family not in good financial condition, or there is fights in the family because of it the child is always thinking about those bad times. Why I say this, I have another experience. When I was a principal of a school, there was this boy in grade 8 who was always thrown out of the class, who was punished more frequently, and he would find out ways to bring trouble in the classroom. Now every time he was brought to my office, I would just give him some nice normal warning and send him back without knowing what's going on with him. One day I called for his mother and I asked, what's wrong with your son? And I was actually complaining to the mother when she broke down and cried and said, ma'am, for the past 5 years, this boy is spending whole night outside the house because my husband drinks and beats us. Past 5 years. This boy never expressed. He was a jolly good fellow. He was a happy child. He was always of course, he was doing trouble and tantrums, but not doing well in studies. And when the mother said this, I felt so guilty for whatever I told him. The next morning, I went to the assembly and said, I am adopting this boy as my son. So if any one of you have any problem or complaints against him, let me know. This boy was shocked because all the time he was being punished and suddenly he became my son. And I brought him to my office and said, even when I talk today, I'm choked. And I said, look, you're my son. I'm going to adopt you and I want to help you how to overcome this. Make sure nobody complains about you and let me know what together we can do. And that's how we started our journey. And I started helping this boy. And of course, he became a topper in class 12. He got the first position in college, bachelor's. And now he's working in a leading position in a bank in my city. I meet him very often, and every teacher day, my birthdays, Guru Purnima, he'll make sure he calls me or comes and meets me. I'm not highlighting that bad, but how an emotional factor can actually damage the child. You feel so good when you look at him today. His mother's so happy. They were a happy family. He's married. Everything is so beautiful today. But had her mother not shared this story, I would have never known. So 7th point, environmental factors. The environment in which the child lives, which is very, this factor is again related to the one I said before, but here it could be poverty, it could be limited access to books, lack of support can contribute to reading problem. As all of you are belonging to different backgrounds, in the sense you come from different schools, there are teachers who are here who are from government schools, who are schools from very low financial background. So if you don't provide reading material to children, how do we expect them to read just by doing few lines of reading in the classroom? That doesn't help, right? So thank you so much for listening till here, and I'm sure you're going to go back and identify what is a problem with the child and then start planning, how do I help this child now? Thank you so much and see you in the next slide. Take care. Bye-bye.